So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching, listening, hearing, smelling, scenting from, I don't know. Welcome to Jump On Music UK. This is the midweek live loop. What we do here is I make stuff up on this thing and this contraption, and then I delete it. Gone. So we're going to make stuff up. It's live, raw, and unrehearsed. If you put stuff in the chat, then maybe I'll sing it. You never know. This is the multi-chat. And this is basically, we're live streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, and also on Twitch as well. So say hello if you're there. And if you put stuff in the chat, no matter where you are, it should come up here, so you can see a couple of YouTube comments there. And if you are being entertained in any way, whether it's obviously by me saying stupid things, or obviously if it's through the music and everything else, give this a thumbs up wherever you are. That really helps me. It helps the channel grow. A couple of things. Did you like the looping video from yesterday? Not yesterday, Monday. I hope it was all right. First of all, this live stream is sponsored. It's sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution company. So if I took that song that I just made and I want to release it, I can. I can release as much music as I want to with DistroKid, and it's they don't charge you for every single release. They charge you one price per year, which starts at $22.99. However, with that QR code that's over there, it's going to be there for the duration, but also it is that QR code as well. It gives you 7% off your first annual membership with DistroKid, and then that way you can release as much music as you want to. So where are we? Like 9th of October, and then of course if you wanted to start releasing stuff for Christmas, you wanted to start releasing stuff for next summer, it wouldn't cost you any more. Now it can, obviously you can have add-ons inside DistroKid if you want to, but the initial thing doesn't cost you any more. Now I'm on the Musicians Plus tier, which basically means that you get basically two artists. So we've got two outfits. It's me as John Paul and me and my mate Greg, who are Tokyo Wasteland. And then also you can do things like schedule the date of release. That's $39.99. It's like, less than a pint for a couple of weeks, less than a couple of coffees, and you're going to get basically annual releases. You can release as much as you want. You can release a live album like I've done. In fact, I've actually released doing this and actually then taking the live streams from this, and I released this album, which is Looping My Brain Part 1 and Part 2. Hi Chris, hi Pierce, hi Axon Nacho. So if you want to obviously do that, then scan a QR code. That gives you 7% off your first annual membership with DistroKid. If you want to learn how I do this, you want to learn looping, whether it's a tabletop, whether it's a app, whether it's a paddle, I now have a course which is called How to Loop Like a Pro. How to Loop Like a Pro is basically, it used to be 200 quid, and now it's 48 pounds, British pounds. And then we go from the very beginning, and we go through some timing and beginning, getting your first loop down, your first ever loop down, but also we go into some cool advanced stuff as well. So it used to be actually two courses, which were like £100 each. $100 each it was actually, but it's now those two courses smashed together in one course called How to Loop Like a Pro, and it's less than buying a pedal now. It's so obviously you get to keep that, and you can watch it on anything, on PC, on Mac, on tablet, on phone, doesn't matter, it works. So scan the QR code. Thank you very much to those who've already bought the course. We're getting some great feedback already, and we're going to be adding to the course as well. Yeah, I've got an idea. So there we go. So that's How to Loop Like a Pro. Look who's in the house, who said they needed to do some work. YouTube muted me, no VIP treatment. Boo. Got it. If anyone has got any questions about looping, obviously the midweek live loop is also about that. If you've got questions, then obviously put them in the chart. If you want me to sing something, then put that in the chat as well. If you've got an idea, if you've got a chord, if you've got a thought, then you can do that as well. So there we go. Thanks, man. Do you like the wave? The wave. Oh! It reacts to the mic. It's got a little microphone. Govy. It's quite cool. Timing. Right, let's find a sound. Today we are currently using King of FM, which is my Audio Kit Pro, and I'm currently using the GarageBand Guide sounds. Patrick, it's all your fault. Right then.
Please tell me in the chat. So we'll turn it down just a little bit. I think I got it. I wonder if I can hear. It sounds alright. I'm not telling you what to do, no.
And there we go. That was a song. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. Tiny wee bit. Okay, cool. It was all good. I hope it died down a little bit. I'll turn it down a little bit. Unders, it's always good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us on the live stream. If you don't know who Unders is, Warrior Sound, go and subscribe to him right now. Drum and bass and dance production is probably the best way I'd say it. Using things like Logic and lots of different sounds and synthesizers and all kinds. Go and have a look at his channel. He's amazing, and go and subscribe to him because a rising tide lifts all ships. So if you're into any kind of production or production techniques, that's the man you need to go and speak to. Go and have a look at Unders. He's boss. Such a scouse thing to say, JP. Anyway, it has been deleted. So welcome to the Midweek Live Loop. If you're joining us, I'll start that again. If you're just joining us, hi. We're basically just doing some tunes on this contraption. So this is the Arturia Keylab 61 Mark III, not MK3. I know it says MK, but it's Mark. It's my pet peeve. It's like when people go, oh, 10x, 10 times. You know. Anyway, moving on. Plug. Love that. That's cool. Plug. Text you later regarding backgrounds, as in what you want, and you want a affiliated link to that light. Is that what you're saying? That's cool, man. No worries. So this is the Arturia Keylab 61 Mark III, which is a MIDI keyboard. It is the top of the range kind of MIDI keyboard that they graciously sent me. Thank you to Source Distribution and also Arturia for that. I keep moving this microphone, so I'm sorry if it's making gadunk noises. And at the moment, you may just be able to see it there. If I do that, there you go. It's actually controlling the iPad. So I've got a MIDI cable. It's plugged in by USB-C to power. And it's got a MIDI cable going into this. Now this bad boy right here, this is the Boss RC505 Mark II, MK2, Mark III. And this has got 5 loops, and it's got effects, and it's got also MIDI and USB as well. So how this works is we've got the MIDI, normal 5 pinned in MIDI of the keyboard going in just here at the top here, going into the RC505 Mark II, and then the USB is actually going to the iPad. Or I should rather say the other way around. The iPad is going into here. So the reason for that is because then obviously I can control the iPad with the keyboard. Now, the really clever part about this is the RC505 Mark II and the RC600, by the way, both have a rhythm section, but you can play their own drums. And what I've done is this keyboard is on MIDI channel number 2, and this is on MIDI channel number 2, but this is on MIDI channel number 1. And the reason for that is because so those sounds, this is a MIDI keyboard, so there's no sounds actually in it whatsoever. And the sounds are coming from the RC505. So if I go into the RC505 now and go into the loop and go into the rhythm and go into the kit, that's a studio kit. Live, light, heavy, rock, metal. Watch your speakers. Jazz. That's the brush one. I've got a cajon. And they're all coming from here, which is great, because actually if I wanted a little bit more like something like that. And what I've done is I've told the RC505 Mark II, it has a system, I haven't told it, I've gone, oi you, but I've set it so the USB can be recorded as a loop. So therefore, we're not using it as an audio interface right now, we're using it so the sound from the USB can be looped. So for example, if I go, and there we go. That's really basic, obviously. But the idea is that the pads here are controlling the drum kit here, which is great. I've got it back in the studio. And then the keyboard is controlling the iPad. And this is a great setup. It really, really works because it means that I can come out of this app and go into a different app and the keyboard's still controlling what I'm playing, which is really nice. So there we go. It's getting deleted. I'm quintessentially British, so I must have a cup of tea in the morning. Oh, yes. It's 9:30. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening, watching, hearing, seeing, breathing, smelling from. Welcome to the Midweek Live Loop. This is JP. This is John Paul Music UK. And in this Midweek Live Loop, what we do is we play tunes. We make tunes, we play tunes, and then we delete them. And it's all unrehearsed, it's live, it's raw. We're using the RC505 Mark II. I quite like this setup where I can move this around, because I can move this in and just go like that and go, there you go, you can now see what I'm doing and blah blah blah. So I might do that later, although I'm not really meant to be moving the camera with my hand because it's a servo and I could break it. Anyway, moving on. This live stream is sponsored. There's a QR code that's been up there the entire time, and that QR code is for DistroKid. It's gone really quiet in the chat, and I put the chat up so people could talk. Please let me know that the chat is still live by saying hi. Just say hi. So this live stream is sponsored. It's sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution company. So if you want to make music and then get it out to things like Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Meta, TikTok, and even YouTube Music, then you need a music distributor to do that. So DistroKid can help you. They can actually, you can just put your songs up to them, and they push it out to all the places, and they go and get the royalties for you. It's that simple. Now, most music distributors charge you every time you release some music. So if you charge a single, they charge you. If you charge an album, they charge you. Sorry, if they release an album, you charge you. DistroKid don't do this. They charge you one price per year. It's a subscription, which is $22.99, and then hi, no post. Thank you for saying hi, John. The stream is live. Cool, fantastic. So they charge you one price per year, which starts at $22.99. I'm on the $39.99 one, and whichever one you go for, if you scan the QR code, if you're not with them already, you'll get 7% off. There's even a label tier. If you want to do a label and you're releasing like loads of bands and loads of artists, there's a label tier which starts at around about $80 and goes up to a couple of hundred depending on how many artists you have. But you still get 7% off. So click the link, I'll start that again. Click the link, scan the QR code. It's in the description box. It's probably just gone into the chat as well. And it's going to be there the whole time. But thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. Now, the other thing as well is if you want to learn what I do, how I loop, I have a course, and I am promoting this course quite a lot because you may have seen adverts, you may have seen me promote this course, and the reason for that is because I've dropped the price. It only happened a couple of weeks ago. We dropped the price from $199 to £48, British pounds sterling, please. Someone in the US said to me that's about $60, which about $61. So £48, and we go from the very, very beginning of looping. We even have a lesson on the history of looping, which is quite good. I'm quite proud of that one. Yeah, we go through and we go right from your very first loop. Oh, so picking a looper, your very first loop, going into single phrase, multi-phrase, some really, really cool stuff. And the other thing as well is, it doesn't matter which looper you have. So if you've got a tabletop looper, you've got a pedal, you've got an app, I do it on all three going through the system. So then therefore you can actually learn how to loop really, really easily with me. You get to keep the actual course. And I'd already said it before, no spoilers. I'm going to be adding to the course. We've got some feedback and I was like, that's a good idea. Why don't we add that in? So if you've already got the course, I'm not going to charge you any extra for it. You've just got the course. It's as simple as that. So that's how to loop like a pro. £48. Go get it. And by buying it, you're like directly helping me and obviously supporting the channel. So thank you very much to those who have already. There we go. Right then. So the chat is working, apparently. That's what I've been told, which is good. Thank you very much, Nightpost, for saying that as well. What a great YouTube name, Nightpost. Like, that's cool. I quite like that. So we actually just make tunes up, and we're just obviously using lots of different effects. Last live stream, I was like, I'm going to go through all the effects. I didn't go through all of them. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to move the camera so it's a little bit closer to the RC505 box. Did you see what I did there? So these are input effects and these are track effects. So basically what this does is this will affect the input, aka the microphone. I've only got a microphone plugged in, and if you had a guitar, you could affect the guitar or keyboard or whatever you've got. So this one If I tap on this and then do that, this is an LPF, low pass filter. And the thing that makes it really, really unique is you can have effects on there, and you do have it on the RC600, for example, but you need then an expression paddle or something to control it. With the 505, you've got these dials, and these dials are fab. Because you can just move them and adjust them how much you want, and you can program it up what you're adjusting, which is really cool. So if I do this, now the reason why I use this is while I'm doing a beat, you'll hear me go. Just say digger, 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 digger. There we go. Giving all my secrets away. So that's the LPF. That's the LPF. The big one is B for bass. So this is A, B, C, and D. I always put B on bass. Let's say that the other way around. I've always put bass on B. And this one is the G to B, guitar to bass, the G to B. And if I move this, hopefully you can see that there, that as I move this, it's moving the balance, and the balance between my normal voice, which is right here, and as we start moving this, even if you get to about 10%, you start hearing it. But then to have a bass line, I sing my bass lines, so then I actually have it on 100%. So let's move it up. I even had someone, I did this a live show, I think it was an open mic night, and someone came up to me and went, "You've got really good range, haven't you?" I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "You can go really, really low." I was like, "Dude, it's an effect." I think I was a bit drunk. Anyway, mode number 2, and then this says 100%, but obviously you can change the amount, and it's quite fun if you want to do like you want to have a little bit of a humanistic sound. So now, when I do a bass sound, when if there's a cool noise, on the keyboard, I'll use that. But normally I will use the bass sound. Now, I'm going to sing what you'll hear, and then I'm going to turn the bass off, and you'll hear what I sound like. Okay. Think of bow as in bow and arrow, or bone, bow, 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 bow. That's my bass. BB bow bow. So that's digger. That's boom. This next one is the radio effect. I normally use this for singing, just when in this setup. And there's lots of different kind of radios. You've got like a distorted lo-fi radio. There's like a and it goes. I quite like this one. It's a bit thinner, and it cuts through really, really well. It cuts through really, really well. So things like that work really, really well. And I mix that with the fourth one. The fourth one is a reverb. 4.65 seconds, to be precise. And this actually adjusts not the amount of reverb, but it adjusts the effect level. So even here, you can still hear it's 4.65 seconds. But we can go from what it sounds like to be quite quiet. La 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 la. Right through to we're in a cathedral or a canyon, whatever you want it to be. La la la. Okay, so this is my input effects. This is the 4 effects that I use. You can have banks of effects. I don't actually do it. I don't use the banks because I'm happy with those 4 effects. There's other effects I could add on. There's people who use, if you look at things like the like Swizz Beats, the Beatbox Championships, things like that, they use all 4 banks of effects, and they have them preset, so they just go bank up and it goes boom, and it's like a sound. People have compression on there and everything else. Having a great mic is always a good thing to have. But yeah, so really, really useful. But there we go. Nice tip. Never used G2B that much, but interested to do it now. So, what's your artist name, John? If you have one, of course. My artist name is John Paul. JOHNPAUL. Now, there is another John Paul. There's John Paul Jones, but there's also there's loads of John Pauls out there. It's John Paul, but with no space. So 8 characters of JOHNPAUL, and then you'll see this face. You may also, if you want to, let me find it for you. If you want to hear what the live stream as an album, which we did, we actually did a video, which was this video, which was how to set up for a live stream. And then we also did a video, which was afterwards, how to turn a live stream into an album. So the album is this one, which is called, if you just search Looping My Brain by John Paul, it's there. There's two volumes so far, and you'll be able to find that there. All fun and games. So here's the fun thing with this stuff. I can now combine, and if I can turn all 4 of these on if I really wanted to. So sounds crazy, but you can turn all 4 on or combine them. So I've done a couple of combines before. So we've got the bass, and I've done a bass sound, and then put this up here. Do things like that. The other one is, you heard it a lot today already, which is combining the radio and the reverb. So if I put the radio on and then have the reverb.
When you gonna sing, yeah.
So I have that about 12 o'clock. And then you can do fun things like that. If I want to add a little bit of reverb to the bass, of course I can do that. So I start combining these, which is really, really fun. Now, moving over to this side right here, let me just go. There's all my bump behind, don't look at that. We've got the track effects. Again, there's multiple banks of track effects. So I need to put something down. So let's do it. We're going to say digger now. So we've got our beat there, and the reason I've just put that down really, really quickly. So what we've done is I've got 4 track effects. I've got banks of track effects, and that's fine. So the first one is called a step slicer, and the step slicer is actually on A, but it's only assigned to one of these. It's assigned to track number 5. And you can see, hopefully, you can see there, you can see that it's got a rate, and the rate is how many crotchets or quavers or semi-quavers or demi-semi-quavers, things like that. So if I go like this, and again, I can adjust the amount. Let me do this, it's a bit easier, so you can see. So the depth is actually being controlled here, and that's in, what is it, semi-quavers, something like that. Let's change it. Just turn the beat back on so you got a bit of... And you can start playing with it and do a little bit of stuff like that. Okay, so that's what that one is. The first one is a step slicer. The next one is actually an auto pan. And the auto pan, it depends what I do, but I've actually got this assigned to track 2 only, I think. Yes, track 2 only. Now, if I had some hi-hats on track 2, I've got the beat right now. And if you're listening to this in stereo speakers or in headphones, you're going to hear this. It just pans across from one to another. Keeps it interesting. It's quite useful with hi-hats. I'll put the hi-hats on this one. Now, it's not panning loads. It's not panning all the way to the edges. It's just going about from here to here, like 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. So that's what that does. That is the auto pan. The next one is transpose, which is a lot of fun. This is affecting all 5 tracks. Now in the middle, it's normal, and then transpose down, that's -12, so an octave. Now, why on earth would I use it? Now you can go the other way. Chipmunks. Now, why on earth would you use it? Well, the thing is, you can actually do a couple of creative things with it. So if you actually use it where you've got it switched on, it's at 12, so you can't hear a change. You can do things like this. And the thing with the Boss RC505 Mark II and the RC600 is it actually stretches the audio really well. There's a couple of things, there's a couple of other things out there in the world that will time stretch the audio. Listen to the bass, right? So if I do this again. It does it really well, I think. There's a couple of other ones that sound really, really warbly, but the Boss one does that really well, I think. Anyway, so that is on mode number 2 on transpose. That's the transpose one, and the final one is actually an LPF. It's actually the same as this. It's an LPF, but the reason for it is it's an LPF on the tracks. Now, why on earth would you need that? Well, this is a really cool effect to play around with if you wanted to just break the song down. So if you actually, this is again, it's affecting all of them. I've just got it set to affect all of them. So let's just bring it up to nothing. Nothing is this, as in it's letting everything through. It's an LPF, obviously. There is actually a little bit of difference when you turn it on and off. Listen very carefully. It's a little bit more tinny, actually. It's like you can hear the a little bit more predominantly. So let's say we've sung a song, we want to do a breakdown.
So I'm going to turn my effects on. I'm going to sing, okay? Turning it up slowly. If I turn it off, it just goes back to normal. You can go right down to the bottom and it's like only let certain frequencies through.
I'm just making that tune up on the fly, as we do here. So basically there, well, obviously these two can actually be quite funky together. Pierce, question. Yes, remarkably smooth. It is. Does it let you tape style adjustment so the pitch changes with the speed too? So you want to change the speed as well. It's a transpose. So the transpose, where is it? I don't think so. I think it just transposes, as in it just pitches, but it doesn't change the timing. There is another one, I think, which is pitch bend. So if I, which one was that? C. So. Oh no, that keeps it the same as well. No, it keeps it the same as well. Sounded nuts, right? The other thing as well is you don't want it too too much. You don't want it like too much of a low thing or a high thing. I mean, I don't particularly. I'm just curious. Sleepy Pro can do it. Yeah, no, I mean, I think there is a way to do it, but I think as well, it's predominantly, you know, following the BPM. You can change the BPM, of course you can. So. You have to hold down tap tempo to put it back to the original. I always forget that. I always double tap it and then go to like 300. So there we go. So that way, basically, you've got those 4 track effects, and they're affecting the tracks, and then the inputs are affecting
the inputs. Yeah.
Now, the other thing as well is you'll find me kind of playing around with certain things, and I'll make a noise like, and I'll record that noise, but just a little bit of it. Have you literally just changed your name? Oh, that's funny. That's really good. The beat sounds plush. Good. I'm glad. Does it sound as plush as a thick carpet shag? Was it that big? Well, guess what? It's getting deleted for my next example. So it's gone. Let's just tilt this way a little bit. There we go. That's better. So with this, using the effects, what I'll do is, oh, that's weird. That is weird. Don't know why. So I'll do this, and you would have seen me do that if you're familiar with the channel. You've seen me play around with this before. Then you would have seen me do this, where you go, because because when you're recording the loop, it can also record the tail of the effect, because it's an input effect. It's recording the input. So things like that. Always in between 2 notes. I'm just like not part of the chromatic scale at all. Sounds more like that. But even that will just give me a weird moment where I'll go, ooh, 1, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can see the tap tempos going there. So now my head instantly wants to do, this is just me, you might be very different. You could go, Jesus. So now I need a beat for that. And there we go, we've got our beat. Now, I've done this deliberately now, so it's almost like I know what I'm doing. I see you, baby. Shaking that Dyson. This is all your fault. So I've done this deliberately where everything's a beat apart from that. Okay? Everything's a beat apart from track 1. So I've kind of run out of loops. If I wanted all this go, crap, I want to put a bass down, but I don't want it to be with all these bits. There's another thing you can do on the 505 and the 600, which is called bounce. And bounce is basically as it sounds. You can literally bounce these tracks down to another track. So if I now actually did this, find the one that's actually, in fact, I'll get rid of that. I've got bounce set up here. So bounce is literally just that. I hope you can see that. It's just a little on-off switch. So we can now turn bounce on. And we're going to bounce this track down. Now. Can you hear the phasing now? So let's turn all these off. There it is. Now, you've got to remember to turn bounce off again, because if you leave it on, I can now delete these. Try and remember the notes. With a shaky camera. Now, the other thing we can do as well is there's a lot of sound on that one loop. It's all those loops before that we bounced down, right? I can undo and I can redo, but only undo and redo the last thing, that's it. But you can undo and redo every track. See the way it's flashing? I've got undo redo switched on, so I can go like that. See they've gone red?
see you, baby. Shaking that spam. I 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 see you, baby.
Shaking that spam. Yeah.
Fun and games. So that basically, I just wanted to go through the setup that I have. Now, that is just one memory on here, and I use that on the midweek live loop because, well, if I'm honest, it's easy, and it's one of those things where I know where everything is. And then you can start having to mess with things. You heard me go literally "Mrrr," and just like turn that down, like a demented cow. But yeah. YouTube was doing what now? That beat sounds plush. Oh, okay. Weird. Pierce, I see you, baby. Nice flow. YouTube's filtering as spam. Sorry, dude. Sent here carpet fetish. Sent here from the carpet fetish channel. I'm far from spam. Yes, I'm a person. Why can't I do this? I do love that, by the way. You get your cleaning done to the beat. That's just brilliant. I love that. That's fantastic. Cool. Wait, okay. Question. Wait, what was happening when all the tracks recording buttons kept flashing? Right, okay. So, let me just put... I need to put more than one thing down. So, it's probably best if I do it like with harmonies. So, let's just... Let me just find a normal noise. Nope. Okay, so we've got some harmonies there. Sounds like it's straight out of, some kind of medieval like thing. Anyway, moving on. If I let me just bring the camera back in. Weep. I like doing this. That one there. This is start stop. This is undo redo. So undo redo, when you turn it on an RT505 Mark II. See the way they're flashing now. So what's asking me is, I've got more than one recording on here. I can undo. It's taken all the ones over the top off. Technically, it's just the last recording because I just left it open to overdub. Doesn't matter how many times you overdub. If you tap it and then leave it open, it's the last recording. Now, if I tap it again, it brings that last recording back. And I can do that with every single track. The other thing I can do as well is I can do this. And now, it's gone. It's just the recording. So you can, when you're doing undo redo, you can tap this one here to undo and redo. You can undo it also here as well, but be careful because you press this one again, it deletes the overdub. It deletes the last recording. But you can you may have seen me, like if I've made a mistake, for example, if I've done this before, but I've tried not to show it, but I'm going to show it because it's important. So all of that was one recording, okay? So it's one recording. No matter how many times it goes round, it's one recording. And do another one on top, okay? So we go yellow for overdub. Okay. So I'm not going to play that too many times because we're going to delete it. But what I can do now, undo, redo, gone. Do you see how quick that was? So that's the mistake. Me going, yeah. What I'm doing is very slowly press undo, redo, press that, come out of undo, redo. So it's like going into undo, redo, and then do what you need to do and come out again. Okay, so in, undo it, come out. We're now back in play mode. Okay. If I go back into it, I can bring it back. So I can turn it on and off. If I want to delete it, that goes back to the very beginning. It takes all overdubs off. Okay? So that's that button there. Bring it back. It's almost like peeling it back right to the very beginning. So you can also use this creatively. You can use this where you build up a track, you have all this stuff over the top, and you actually end... Ow, what was that? Oh. Always good to step on a screw. I was wondering where that little screw was. Anyway, moving on. I've got nothing on my feet. I've just got socks that really hurt. Yeah, so you can... What was I saying? Yeah, you can build up a whole track. In fact, let's do it. I'm going to build up a whole track, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the track by undoing everything and going back to the basics of each track. So let's use what we've got here. Ooh. All right. Okay, now, I've stopped it deliberately because what we're going to do is we're going to undo all of this. So let me just go through what's on each one. Okay, so... It's a bit lazy, but, you know, it gets there. Okay. I think there's only one track on that. Yeah, there is. Okay. You got the wow, 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 and the bass. This one. And then we've got our... Okay, so all of them, obviously, apart from this one, has something extra on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it. We're going to go into undo, redo, and I'm just going to undo the last thing, and then I'm going to bring it back. Then I'm going to press the stop button when we're in undo, redo, and it's going to take it back to the very beginning. Now, this one won't change too much because it's only got one thing on it, but let's do it. So we go into undo, redo. They all flash, because we're in undo redo mode. I hope that makes sense. I'll turn all these down. Hang on. There you go. So we're in undo redo mode. Okay. So I'm just going to press each one. Ready? So it's like going back a level. Okay. Let me turn them back on again. Just took the last recording off and put it back on again. Now, if I'm in undo redo, I'm staying in this mode. That's why they're flashing. Let me press these. Ready? It's just the first recording. That's it. Let's go back. Now they're deleted. Okay? So no matter what I do, I can't get them back now. They're gone. It's finite. But this is great for a song that you're pulling back down again from. You've done the song, it's the end of the song, and then you're about to like bring it all back down again. Let's turn that one off. There you go. End of song. So things like that are really, really clever because you can turn things off or just take the last recording off with these buttons on the undo redo. Or if you want to just go right back to the very beginning of that recording, you press this one on undo redo, the actual stop button, and that'll take all overdubs off. So this is really, really clever. I really like this, and it's super handy, you know, just to undo super quick if you made a mistake, and that's fine, but you can use it creatively as well. So I hope that helps you. If that does help you, give this a thumbs up, whether you're on the live stream, whether you are watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Twitch. Let me know, because there is people on every one of them. So hi, people on Twitch, hi, people on YouTube, and hi, people on my Facebook page. I hope that has given you a little bit of help. So that is everything to do with what was flashing. And it's deleted. So, yes, absolutely. Very thoughtful stuff. I don't think people appreciate what they've done with this. And I really like using it in this scenario because, as you've heard, I can make tracks really, really easily. Oh, I love doing stuff like that. It's funny. So yeah, so it is a very thoughtful process. Obviously, you know, a very cool live tool. It's really, really cool. At least it's not. Yes, that is more painful than stepping on a screw, obviously. Yeah. Now, the other thing as well is the only thing downside for me personally on the 505 Mark II is actually the back. It's actually the connections of the back. I don't care too much about this, but the build quality. The quality of it, it's plastic. It's all plastic. Plastic and rubber buttons. And that's fine. No problem. But I really, really wish for the Mark II, they had an opportunity and they missed it. That on the back here, basically, the connections are plastic. And they should have been metal, in my humble opinion. And I really wish that they were metal, because I'm worried that after long periods of use, you may notice you can see all my crap on the table now. But anyway, but the way this is bending down over time, over a couple of years use or things like that, or even like a year's use, if it's bending down like from the weight or from the from the gravity of it, these will start breaking. And I know someone who has broken them, and they pulled it by accident, and it just, the outer ring just snapped, and then they can't plug it back in. So then you've got to send it over to Boss to get fixed, or you then buy a new one, or things like that. If it was metal on the back, like it is on the I'm pointing over there because it's down on the floor. I like the RC600. The connections underneath are all those sort of like metal. I'm not lifting it up. The connections underneath are all those like metal jack connections with the screw on that you can actually screw in if you wanted to hold it in place. But yeah, they're all metal connections, all plastic connections. It's the only downside. I don't mind it being plastic over the top, actually. Metal faders and metal dials might be nice. That's the only thing I would say. These, not too fussed on because I use them obviously sparingly, but these two, plastic, be cool if they were like titanium, or titanium I should say in the UK, according to my friend Chris. Titanium is American, titanium is English, apparently. It's like aluminium and aluminum. And yeah, basically, if you're using this, and you're using this seriously, like, I mean, I use it every week, but if you're using this like out and about, I'd have more than one. I would definitely have. Yeah. Oh, I'm talking away. I'm not looking. Australian Ray's in the house. It must be late there. If you're here right now, over in Australia. Hope you're well. Oh, you still? Oh, so you've got a 505. Okay, cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been using it obviously a lot, and I'm very, 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 very thankful. The Boss sent me one to play around with, and the 600. So the 600 obviously was the main thing for me, but this, I've actually discovered a new way of looping for me with this, and I really, really love it. I think it's really fun. Lovely Loopy Pro, but refining it to the same level as a 505 control seems a long process. Yeah, but if you, Piers, we know full well, you and I obviously have had these discussions before about hardware versus software, and if you get something, you've got like that controller and stuff, like the Akai controller, you could mimic it. But it's things like having dual button control, things like that, really, really useful. Let's move that there. There we go. I put my camera on a mic arm boom. Best thing ever, because I can move it around. It's good, isn't it? There we go. That's to make Loopy Pro do stuff that would damn hard on the 505. Yeah, 100%. Because this, when you buy this, that you can change some of the buttons. You can change the effects buttons and track buttons. That's the other thing I don't really do. There's track button, and then there's also effects button, and I can turn the effects off. So even though the track effects actually affect like all tracks on these two, for example, I can turn that off. So if I was doing that breakdown, so if I just I've deleted it, but basically okay, so I've just put that down quickly just to play around with it. But it sounded right, didn't it? Not bad. I can, when we're talking about, obviously, if you're just joining us, we were talking about the track effects and the input effects. But the track effects, so I've got this one here. It's affecting all of them. But if I turn the effects button off on the drums, for example, keeps the drums where they are, but only affects the ones that are lit up. And you can get creative with it. So, I've just put the LPF on. Let's turn it off on the hi-hats. So things like that are quite useful. However, the other thing as well is that, like, if I wanted to do that on one effect, it affects the other effect. So I haven't drilled too much into it with changing that on and off per effect. It's per track. So that's it. Like, it's either effects are on, effects are off per track. Whereas with with Loopy Pro, you'd be able to do that and go, well, that effect can only affect this, and that effect can only affect that. And you can do that with this sort of, but like you're turning tracks on and off. But then you could completely change that with one button on Loopy Pro. That's the thing. So a doorless setup, yeah, use a 505 Mark II, and it can do more than enough. That's great. That's fantastic. That's all good. I'm glad that was well explained with the undo redos. I think that's what you're talking about, and because that's what you asked, wasn't it? Yes. Ray is in the house. Hope you're well, Ray. Haven't seen you in a while. Obviously, you've been doing this last 2 weeks in the morning here in the UK, so it's 10:23 a.m. Ding. And obviously, therefore, if I started at 9, then it's what, 8, 9, 10, maybe there over in Australia. I can't say that without putting an accent on. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be offensive. Now, yes, there we go. Absolutely carry a backup unit. Very confident in your flight case. That's the other thing as well. Obviously, I've got this on the. If you can see that these are raised. If I was to sort of like show you, I've shown it before, but if you have a look at this, is all on this wood here, which is called Loci, which is Loci. Loci is a kind of like a Lego, but like a build thing. Does anyone remember octons? We have like the octagons that you click together. It's kind of like that. But what you can do is, I'm just going to take this off. There you go. So that's it, and it's a whole wooden system, which is really, really cool. I did a video about it. It's really cool, and they just sit there nicely. It's a little bit movie roundy, even though I've got like rubber pads underneath. Anyway, that's because it's on a smooth surface. And you can build it up for anything. So you can have it for keyboards, synthesizers, iPads, loop stations, your mixer, whatever you want. And you can build it up. Your laptop could be here, and they're really cool. If you had this in a dedicated flight case with the cables going out, nicely, and it didn't move and everything else, I suppose you'd never be unplugging and plugging in, would you? So that is a good option, to do that, where you're saying basically if you're going on tour, you want to carry a backup or be very confident in a flight case. To be honest, I'd put it in a flight case where it doesn't come out the flight case at all. Like, it's one of those ones that it's like, sunk in, and just leave it in there, because I just wouldn't want to mess with that. But then, would the connections get funny if they just stayed in there all the time? But I suppose with the RC600 it doesn't, because the connections are connected all the time as well. Yeah, there you go. Hi, hope you're well. Australia Ray. Hang on. Australia Ray, and then Australia Ray in brackets. Okay. True, and crashes. Oh, really? You have crashes? So, my thing about crashing, certainly when it comes to RC505, RC600, is if you're using MIDI, wow, like we are now, I touched some kind of wood, there we go, haven't had a crash on either an RC505 or an RC600 at all. Okay, and the reason for that is because when I do a software update, a firmware update on any of them, I've got stuff saved on here, and that's fine. I use the John Moose Taylor's RC editor. Okay, it is for the 505 Mark II and the RC600, and it can pull the memory off it. Literally, like, you can grab them on memory, store it onto your computer, whether it's a PC or Mac, it doesn't matter. And then I'll wipe it. I'll literally factory reset it. Okay, then I'll do the firmware update. Then I'll factory reset it again, and then I'll put everything back on top. Now, that is proper anal, and I know it's one of those things where it's proper, like, nerdy thing to do. However, I've never had a crash. So it's like a brand new box, and then put your loops back on top, and then put your system settings back on top. So the great thing with John's editor, I did it anyway before John brought the editor out, and it actually took me a while, when a new firmware came out. Plus, I'm testing stuff because I'm bringing stuff out for the channel. I don't get pre-release firmware or anything like that, but I'm bringing stuff out as and when and going, oh, what's new, what's fixed, what's changed, so I can tell you guys about it and also do stuff about the actual, the channel and the courses and stuff like that. So I've never had one crash, ever. Now, with the 600, I don't use MIDI. And I know that a lot of people who use MIDI and MIDI CC, basically beat MIDI PC numbers. So if you're using program change numbers, it starts to get a bit funny. But I've never had a crash. Now, I'm saying this now, live, and I've said it before, and now I'm expecting it to go, well, I'm going to crash. Simple as that. So, yeah, I've probably just jinxed myself big time. So there we go. It's amazing how the difference of the form factor on the 5 and 5 and the 600 are exactly the same kit underneath, with the same capabilities, changes the way you use them so much. It does. It really, really does. Now, I know someone who actually is a guitarist who loops with a 505, and we have a pedal, literally 2-button pedal. Plugged in to, and it's the same plugins as well. You control expression, and the 2-button pedal he uses is record and like play stop, as it were, like record stop, as it were, and then the next button is go to the next loop, and you can cycle through the loops. And I don't know if you can see this, but the reason why, let me just do that. The reason why this has a little dot on it is because that's the last one you touched. Okay, so if I now do this, there you go. It's moved over to there. Even if I just hit play, and there's a very good reason for that, because that's the one you're controlling. Sorry, I didn't mean to say command. That's really wrong. In this day and age, I shouldn't be saying things like that. It's for controlling. And yeah, what he's done is he's done it where basically the button is literally cycle. It's cycle through the tracks, and that's really cool because he can actually go press the button like you're playing an RC600, and then go to the next. And then when you hit record and stop, and then just go to the next track, and then his beats down, and then he can do stuff. So he does a bit of a mixture of both, where he's playing guitar and then using like his hands to control stuff. Because once everything's down, like he only uses the guitar sparingly. So yeah, really, really cool thing you can do. Anyway, can you resample that into another loop? So if you do a loop effects performance once, and then you have it looped on another button. I'm gonna have to reread this. Can you resample that into another loop? So you do a loop effects performance once, and then have it looped. Oh, do you mean when I like affect it? So like when I was doing it before, when I was you mean like this stuff? So can I loop this? Is that what you're asking? Technically, yes, is the answer, but I don't have it set up that way. The track effects can be, they affect the track, and then you can have the output of the track go back into the loop. So it's like bounce. So let me just, if I delete this, because I need an empty track to do it with. So let me just turn bounce on. There you go. Oh, turn that off. So yes, technically you can. You can record when you use bounce, and I've turned bounce off again because I keep forgetting to do that, and then I'll end up recording that across all different tracks. So you can hear that wow, 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 wow. That's me doing that live, recording it back into itself, and that is what bounce is for. Bounce is for not just bouncing tracks down to one, but recording the output back into the looper. So yes is the answer, and we've just done it there. That sounds fun. Not currently, but stay tuned. I can't not say Justin, and then yeah. Anyway, you're welcome. No worries. Yeah, you go to my channel on YouTube, and then look for the RC editor video. There is a link there which gives you a little bit of a discount off John's editor if you haven't already got it. And best thing ever, because you can use it with the 505 and the R6600. I mainly use it with the R600. I've got stuff on here. I've got loads of things on here actually, but I do need to, when I do the next phone, whenever the next phone, I'll be pulling all this stuff off, which I do anyway. So I've got loads of different sounds. I've just suddenly realized that I like something, or I've recorded something for the video. So, for example, this one. Let's see if you know what this is. Anyway, so if I just find an idea, I know I do this live, but I also do this, when I'm like, I just want to figure out some nice sounds. Okay. So I'm thinking of bringing this out as a track. Because the live streams are actually great scratch boards for me to go, that was cool, I quite like that, let's recreate that. So I've got loads of stuff on here. Right in front of you, can't you see? I lose control. Anyway, do you remember this one, Australian Ray? I recreated it from the first album. So yeah, I mean, I can just go through all these if you want. Hello? That's the only thing with that noise, it makes me think of an airplane.
Can Mr. Smith pick up the white phone, please? The white phone.
So, of course, you've got 99 memories and a bitching one. And then, of course, I just save them. And a lot of them are called Memory 1 because I recorded it on Memory 1 and then threw it over there. Oh, yeah. There's me actually playing guitar. I brought this one out as a YouTube short saying, should I release this? Called Piano Dream. So the great thing about this, oh dude, wow, thank you so much. That's incredible. Super chat for 20 euros. There you go, JP. Keep doing what you're doing and let nobody stop you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Oh, thank you, dude. That's really, really nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm really blown away. God. Yeah. So I put stuff in like random places. This is called Sands. So, you know, you've got all these different loops and all these different things. Thank you so much. That's really nice. Yeah. So obviously with this, of course, because you've got 99 memories, I think I've gone up to about 25. There's nothing on 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Nothing on 9, 8, 7, 2. So I've got about 15 of songs on there that some are covers, and just to muck around with. But one or two of them were like, oh, I'll just use that as a YouTube short. That's quite cool. But it means what I do as well is, if Nightpost, if you want another tip, don't save everything to the 99 loops. What I mean by this is, and I did this for basically pedal loopers. I did this video about stop saving everything to 99 loops. People go, right, cool, this is the way I want it, so now I want it across all 99 memories, just in case. Why? It's completely the wrong way of thinking. So what you do is create memory number 1 as your preset. Okay, so memory number 1 is how I want it. Okay, it's basically the preset of how I want it. I do this on the RC600. I have a preset which is called JP01. This is called memory 1. Simple thing, same thing. Okay, it's exactly how I want it. Okay, let's say I make an amazing song. I then go and save it to a different memory. Okay, so then I go and save it. When I click enter and exit and enter, I don't save it to memory 1, because you can change where you save it. So I create it all on memory 1, and then go, that's freaking awesome, I love that. Click exit and enter. I'll show you. You click right, and then here I can change where I'm going to put that. Okay, what's really clever about that is when you do that, it means that it saves it over to memory 30, you give it a name, whatever else, you go back to memory 1, and it's exactly as you had it when you started. So you've got all your presets all ready to go for the next song, okay? So that is a massive thing for me. People go, oh, I need to... The amount of times I get message going, cool, how do I save this across 99 memories? How do I put this so it's the same across all these different memories? If you're using the memories like a set list, I get it, okay? Like, and all you do is set up 1, and then save that to memory 2, save that to memory 3, save that to memory 4, 5, 6, whatever. That's fine. I get that. And that is where people want to use it in a very specific way. If you're creating stuff on the fly and then you're going, do you know what, I'm just going to change this, change this, change this, change this. I can now go in. This is on memory number 1. I told you before, this has got, my first one is an LPF. My next one is a guitar to bass. My third effect is radio. And my fourth effect is reverb. Okay. So I'm now going to change LPF to something completely different. I'm going to have it as... Let's use it as a preamp. That's cool. So let's use preamp. Okay, cool. We'll do the second one.
This one is bass, that's fine.
And what I'll do is I'll just change the mode. So it's not on mode 1, it's, 2, it's on mode
1. Just mode 1, that's mode 2, that's mode 1. Fine.
Okay, fine. The radio, we're going to change over to something completely different again. So we're going to use... that's tremolo. That's not the slicer. That's something completely different. And then this one, reverb. Let's change this over to warp. Okay, so I've changed all 4 of them sound, and I made a song, and it's got all that great on it. And then all I do is go click exit and enter, click right. Let's save it somewhere. So let's save it on memory number 9. Click enter. Memory number 9 now gets called memory 1. It's saved the preamp. Quite a cool effect, actually. And then it saved everything there. Let's go back to memory 1, and now it's still exactly the same before with my radio and everything else, because that's how memory 1 is saved. So when you click and save something to something else, you go, cool, let's make this tune. So basically make your first memory on your RC600, your RC500, your RC505 Mark II, your RC202, all of these boss pedal loopers, tabletop loopers, whatever, make your first memory as how you want it to be, and then save it to somewhere, and then save it to somewhere else. Okay, so you save it to go, that is my performance memory. Think of it like a patch or a preset or a default, whatever you want to call it. And then when you've made something cool with it and you've changed the effects and changed everything else, when you click save it to a different memory. And that way, when you go back to that memory, so I'll go now back to memory number 9, which is now called memory 1. I've got to change the name of it, but now I've got the presets that I saved because it's there. Anyway, so that is kind of my little tip about sort of saving on this. That's why on the RT600 I only have 3 presets. I have JP01, JP multi-mode, and JP single mode. So therefore, basically those 3 presets are kind of the 3 modes I use to create something and go, right, well, let's save that to somewhere else. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, thank you very much for that super chat. That's really, really nice. What I'm going to do now... Floor loopers, the game appears to be minimize the number of switches you need to control things, but with desktop loopers, it's as many buttons as memory you can cope with. Yes, absolutely. That's cool. Should we make something? By the way, last week we used this, which is a kazoo. And I threw everyone off by going, oh my god, he's using a kazoo. But if you use it with effects, it's quite fun. That's okay, 9. You are forgiven. So I'm going to use the undo like we discussed before. There we go. Weird ending to the tune. Hi, yes, welcome to Jump On Music UK. This is JP. Welcome to Jump On Music UK's the midweek live loop. The live loop is where we create songs, we make songs, and then we delete songs. It's gone. That tune is gone. If you want to listen to it again, then you're going to have to watch it on the replay. If you are watching the replay, give this a thumbs up. That really helps me. It helps the channel grow. If you're watching now, give it a thumbs up. And then also, this live stream is sponsored. Thank you, Pierce, for saying that. I actually have said it more than once. I did mention it at the beginning, but you weren't here. So there you go. This live stream is sponsored. It's sponsored by friends over at DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution company. If you want to make songs and put them out there in the world, then DistroKid can help you. Sorry, that was really intense. That QR code has been there the entire live stream, and that QR code is that one down there, and that is basically, you can obviously go onto there, and I've just realised who's coming to the house. So thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. Before we talk about anything else, if you want to learn how... Let's start that again, shall we? If you want to learn how to loop, then I now have a course which is called How to Loop Like a Pro. It used to be $200 US. It's now 48 British pounds, which is about $60. And it's two courses smashed into one. We go from the very, very beginning to a full-blown loop artist. But also, it doesn't matter whether you're using a pedal, a tabletop looper, or even an app. We go through all three different options, and then you can learn how to loop. That is in the description box. That is that QR code. And obviously, getting that obviously helps me out really massively. Thank you very much, of course, because you're directly supporting the channel. Look who's in the house. Look who decided to join us. It is the wonderful, the lovely Jade Star Music. Jade, how are we doing? I hope you're well. Star, how's things? I see that we are obviously playing with different things. I even saw you doing a little bit of LumaFusion tutorials, which is obviously what I use for editing the entire YouTube channel. I don't edit on a Mac anymore. I edit on my iPad because it's just so much easier. 2 hours. 2 hours, and I did actually mention it at the very beginning, and I mentioned it again, so I did mention it more than once. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's well. I'd say give us a thumbs up if you are. Well, why not? I moved over to a different app midway through that song. I don't really know what that song was about. I just said something about a king, and that was about it. And this is my favourite app. It now is. It's called King of Digital, and there's loads of different ones about Audio Kit Pro, but this is by far my favourite because I've got favourites saved in here. There we go. So yeah, I've got favourite noises in here, which I quite like. And I always end up defaulting back to it. There's loads of different things. Oh, Jade Star's chilling. That's what we like to see. Not doing burnout as many YouTubers are doing. Jade Star actually gave me one of the best compliments I've ever had, which was basically they are amazed. I think that was their words, not mine. How quickly I'm able to create harmonies, which I'm very happy about because, well, why wouldn't you be? Don't go sharp, JP. Oh, it's slower than I thought. That's okay. Okay. Maybe not. I've been looking for someone, wondering if you're in the stars above. And I've been looking now while I pick my path. I don't even feel the way I was in the past. And now I know that I can meet unbelievable
don't know if it's true. Now I feel that something has come about. All of the therapy, wondering about the carpet. Wondering if you can. Wondering if you can. I don't know if I tried, but wondering if you can. It's an inside joke, doesn't mean very much, but it happens on every live stream. Talking about carpets and I don't know why. I don't know why they keep on doing it, but it's kinda stuck, and it's kinda stuck with this live stream. And Jane is wondering what the fuck's going on in this live stream. I don't even know myself anymore, no, no. Wonder if you can. Wonder if you can. He knows it's just a joke, but he takes it too far every time. Apparently it's all about the rug.
Oh, Pierce, why did you have to say that? Yeah, don't worry about that, Jay. This is a long-standing joke that happened on the channel. I'm really glad you liked that tune, by the way. Thanks, Nine. Switched the beat up and came into it, flowed really well. Thank you very much. I think I'll save that one. So I'm going to save that and go, boop, save. Where should we put it? Let's put it there. Enter. Executing. It's not going to be singing about that anyway. Yeah, so it's a long-standing joke that something happened. I don't even know how it started. But some people came coming in going, "Is this the Dyson presentation?" And that was ages ago. How long ago was that? It was ages ago. And I was like, "No, this is not the Dyson presentation." And then it just kind of stuck. And then people who've come a long time have just been going, "Oh, let's talk about carpets and shags and Dysons and sharks and all that kind of stuff." So yeah, there we go. We are going to actually leave it there. If you scroll down, I asked a question, by the way. Oh, hang on a minute. Night Post actually asked a question, opposed to people just talking about stuff. Carpet is therapy. Scroll sounds like therapy. Won't choose. Oh, there we go. Is it that one? What is the longest jam you did? I mean, a jam consisting of a number of improvised songs, some of them maybe half prepared, others forming a set list while jumping from memory to memory. So do you mean like this, like improvised? Improvised wise, I think the longest we've done, Piers, probably 3 hours. I think 3 hours. We're 2 hours, 11 minutes or 12 minutes at the moment. About 3 hours, just doing this. Everything you're hearing, by the way, there's nothing prepared. I'm singing off the cuff and just making stuff off of the cuff. And that's what I do on this live stream because it's a great scratching board for me. It's a great ideas thing. So you go, oh, does that harmony go with this? And you're sitting there on your own. I'm just doing it live streaming. Yeah, that basically I'm doing that and I go, oh, I'll save that. So I've saved that. So memory number 1 at 26. What was that? So I need to change that to If You Can, and then I'll remember what it's called. And you can hear me going through all the memories. There we go. Memory 1, empty. So yeah, so about 3 hours. It's probably the longest one, and then that was the first album as well. That was the Loop in My Brain Part 1. I then took the sounds. We got about, I think it was about 20 sounds, because I was also answering questions like this in the live stream. But then we talked about there was about 18, 20 sounds, and we whittled it down to about, I think, 12 or 13. I think. Let me find out. I can never remember now. And just brought it out as an album. So where is my thingy thing gone? I can't remember where that is now. There it is. Music. John Paul looping my brain. There we go. There it is. Albums, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is 13 songs. 13 songs long. Looping my brain, and it's literally in the brackets. It's called Live, Raw, and Unrehearsed. And the whole point of that is because it's live, it's raw. There's nothing rehearsed. It's literally bringing stuff up in the moment, and it's. Someone said that's a nightmare for them, because if they're not rehearsed, why would they go live? It's like, well, actually, I've just created this really nice song, and I'm like, that wouldn't have happened if I just sat here. So I think that is kind of like one of those things. So and Nine can vouch for that. That's an amazing tune, JP. Thank you. So there we go. So that is kind of what I do. So I hope that's it. So. Yes, if you want to have a look at that, if you want to go over to Jade Star, if you don't know who Jade Star is, by the way, Jade is an amazing YouTuber who basically has dedicated their entire life, their YouTube to apps. So if you're into your apps, Jade predominantly, please quote me if I'm wrong on this, Jade, but I would say that if I had to, if someone give you the elevator lift kind of pitch, as it were, Jade's channel is mainly is about music, of course, music production, music creation, but also the apps that come out. So please, if you haven't, go over to Jade Star Music and subscribe, of course. In fact, everyone who's here, subscribe to everyone else, and then everyone can be happy. Unders is back. Clipping on them belter moments, lad. I know I'm clipping. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Basically, we did an interview. We did an interview about looping, and about looping, obviously, on the channel. So if you want to go and check that out, it's a little bit older now, isn't it, Jade? I mean, we did it a while back. So amazed it's still going. There we go. Why not? That's it. I'm glad you finished vacuuming, and there's a little heart there. Wonderful, fantastic. Apparently you vacuum in time, which is interesting. There we go. Indeed. Nice. So you can basically go on stage and get out there. I have done it. I've done it where I've actually taken, not this full setup, I've taken that looper just to like an open mic night. I've just gone for it. And it's weird not having a keyboard. It's more restrictive because you've got to sing everything. Whereas if I get like a really nice sound, I go, ooh. So I find that releases me a little bit more. But yeah, there we go. That's fine. Live stream with a little prep. Yeah, this is it. I mean, the thing is, obviously, the more prep I've got to do is actually this, like getting the cameras in place and everything else. This. It takes me 10 minutes to set this up, if that, and then I put it away again over there, and it's just a lot of fun. And if I ever get like creative bored and I'm like, oh, I'm playing the same chords and everything, I'll just boot one of these up and then just play with it. It's really, really cool, really useful. In front of a live audience, I can see more likely to at least write a set list. This is it. I mean, the thing is, I play very differently. So obviously you've got the guitars, you've got the looper and everything else. I play sets. I do like a 2-hour cover set in local pubs. I play a set of my own stuff that's singer-songwriter-ish. But this is very, very different, and it's very different for a good reason, because it's just a different way to express thyself. Oh, you can hear the click of my button now. But I can very quickly just build something on that. So let's use the looper without the keyboard. Let's do our final song with just vocals. Remember, everything you're listening to is unrehearsed. It's just in the moment, what's in my head, looping my brain, and putting it out there in the world.
This song, yeah.
Apologies, you must be. Right then, so on that basis, thank you very much for watching, and we're going to leave it there. Beardy Man does have a wild setup. I'd love to have a chat with him. Beardy Man, if you're watching, please get in contact. Yeah, right. I'd love it. It'd be great. I'd actually like to interview him. So this, How Do You Loop, last little thing before I go, is... well, that's oh, there we go. Hi. So How Do You Loop is the podcast, which is rarely updated, but we have a load of interviews there. We have a lot of interviews all about people who loop. So the premise was basically to have a lot of interviews of artists who loop. Why do they loop, and what instruments and what technology that they use. So it's called How Do You Loop? You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to have a listen, there's about 15-ish episodes on there. We haven't done it in a while. We are going to do some more. But my goal is to get some of the big hitters, things like Beardy Man. I'd love to get Katie Tunstall on there. I'd love to get a couple of other people on there, but the big one, of course, from a singer-songwriter point of view, is one of the big loop artists in the world, which is Ed Sheeran. We'll see what happens over the coming months and years. Let's see if we can get it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the live stream. Yeah, the wave's quite cool when I talk, isn't it? It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Unders, you must be my first Twitch sub person. There we go. That's the end of that. We'll see you all next week. Enjoy your week, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Got any questions, by the way, put them in the comment section below. If you're watching on the replay, if you are watching the replay or watching live, give it a thumbs up right now because it helps with the channel. And go to DistroKid and go and get the course and all that jazz. And I'm going to go and get some lunch. Bye. Can you still hear me?